Not you on the phone.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to your favorite podcast in the world. I'm Josh.
I'm Tara.
And welcome back to the Greater Than Me podcast. Greater Than Me podcast. One day somebody gonna be like rapping that song for us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be like a whole thing. They're gonna call us in the
For
studio.
sure.
Why you say it like that? Like we're gonna be in like it's gonna be on the stage. Like welcome to the Greater Than Me podcast. All right, welcome back, guys. Um, how's life? I slept so good last night. What you doing today?
Today I did nothing. Well, today was like a reflective day.
Oh,
I journaled. I like meditated on life. I reminisced. And now I'm here.
good love,
So life is
reminisce.
okay.
What was you reminiscing on? Your exes?
Um, this year, honestly, because I feel like 2023 has honestly been pretty good to me so far. So I'm grateful. But I think that right now, or like lately, I haven't really been feeling like myself. So I needed that. How about you?
I woke up, you texted. I needed to lounge a little bit. I made a smoothie. It was really good. It was berry smoothie with some elderberry. Putting y'all on that elderberry, but honestly don't because the market has gone up for it. So stop buying it. Um,
Um,
yeah, it's been pretty good. Now we're here. But it's only three where I am. So, um,
um, well, then it's three over here. Oh no, it's almost five. It's four
like,
thirty.
right, like how it's gonna be the same? Like, okay, all right. Anyways, I know I got a little fun question for us today. The question is more fun today. If you could have dinner with anybody in the world, who would you want at the table? Let's say five people.
5 people? I don't
Five
know if I
people.
have 5 people.
Like anybody
You
in the
start, because
world.
this is hard for me.
Okay.
You
Okay,
start.
okay, okay. Um, okay. So we're just gonna do like people like we don't. Okay, like a dream. Yeah. I would want Barack Obama at the table. Um, this is hard. Um, ooh, this is hard. Okay, yeah, Barack Obama. I think I would want both Beyonce and Jay-Z so that I can get into the business and like everything else. Like that's just a given. That's three. Um, uh, Kiara Shear and Megan Good.
That is a table. That's a table.
That's a table.
I don't know. Like, I agreed, but not Barack Michelle. That was like the first person that popped into my mind. Um, Oprah.
Mm.
And then it's hard because I feel like I want my mom at the table too, which
That's
I
what I
don't know if
was
that's
thinking
lame,
about.
but like I feel like I gotta have one person there who like is like holding me down, but also we're getting to experience it together. Um, who else? Maybe Tyler Perry because she loves Tyler Perry. Um, and one more person. Jesus.
Mm,
But yeah, that's my table.
that's a good table. Why? Ooh, but I was thinking about my mom too. I was like, damn, my mom should be at that table. Maybe I replace her with
Yeah.
Making Good, but it's Making Good. Like, I done had a crush on Making Good since I was like 10.
I get
You
it.
ain't got, yeah, for sure. Why? Let's say why.
Why?
You said Tyler
Um,
Perry because your mom loves her. So,
Tyler Perry because my mom loves him. But
mm,
also I just feel like he's so iconic for our community and just like representation. And I just feel like he always has a good why as to like why he does the things he does. Michelle Obama, just cause Becoming made me literally cry. And I didn't realize how iconic she was. And I feel like obviously Barack was in the limelight, but Michelle was just so underrated in my eyes. Like I feel like people hyped her um for like their own reasons, but I feel like I never understood it until I watched her documentary and that made me appreciate her a lot more. Oprah just cuz she's iconic and my mom cuz it's my mom.
and because she wealthy, okay, she done got the playbook to
Well,
getting that
yeah.
money.
Yeah. And then obviously Jesus cuz it's just like one I couldn't think of anyone else and it's like why wouldn't you want to sit at the table with him?
Jesus gonna be at that table anyway. Like, he gonna
Well,
be
that's
there.
also true.
Okay? He's gonna be there. I feel like he would just be just saying, how you think Jesus would just be eating? Like, what? Imagine Jesus at like the steakhouse. You think he the type to just like cut the thing, just picture perfect, or is it just be like, man, I'm finna tear this up? Or would Jesus
I feel
even
like
be
he
at the
would tear it
steakhouse?
up. I feel like he would tear it up and be very down to earth. And
Would
that's
Jesus
why
even
I
be
feel
at the
like,
steakhouse? I feel like he would
huh?
be at like, would Jesus even go to the steakhouse though? He might want Waffle
Nah, maybe
House.
the seafood joint.
Mmm. Two fish and them bottles. He would want. He would try to go to Waffle House, get a little waffle. You know, what if you want to real ghetto with it, real country? What if Jesus was
Ooh,
a country man?
I see it for him though, but only in the way that he's like depicted in the movies with like the long hair. Like I could see him in a flannel with some cowboy boots on. Like I see it for him.
Okay, okay. All right, what we getting into today? What we getting into today? Trust. If you could talk about people you trust, you don't have to name them, but do you have like a top five people you trust, or not a top five, just like five people you trust,
Yes.
or things you trust in life?
Yeah, I do.
Five? I don't know if I have five. Yeah, I got five.
Five, but majority. Well, okay. Honestly, yeah, five, but majority would be family. I feel like I could even do a little bit more than five. Um,
How many people
but
do you think that
I'm
we should
also
have?
super grateful for
Oh,
that because I feel like that's not always been a thing I could say.
fair. Yeah, that's true. How many people? I feel like, I mean, it's no like right or wrong answer, but like, how many people should we have that we should like trust in our circle, or like, like just in life when you have, trying to work in this world or do whatever. Like, how many people, or like, should there be a max, or is there a minimum, or like
I don't
for
know if
you?
there's like a definite max or minimum, but one, I'll say there are different levels of trust because I think that like certain people I can trust with like my whole heart and like everything, and I don't really have to have a filter. And then there are other people that I do trust with certain things, but it's just like I guess for wisdom or just for protection of myself. Um, Maybe I don't trust them with everything, but I definitely would say like the circle of people I trust is pretty small. Like it's not big. I feel like if you're trusting hundreds of people or even like I don't know, anywhere in the double digits, that's like a lot of people, no? I don't know. Cause also we're human. So like people come with their own complexities and trust, that's deep, that's heavy.
It is very deep because people be trying to make it seem like you're supposed to just trust everybody off bat. Sure, I want to trust that you have good intentions, but everybody really don't, and that's just the reality of it. And sometimes that could just get you caught up. But I was gonna say like if we could like how hard is it to like trust people? Like, is there a certain amount of time? Can you tell immediately if you can trust somebody? Does it take time, or is it different for different people, or like I don't know? Is it like off the vibes you feel? Because I feel like for me, like I have a pretty good way of like seeing through people, kind of on the faster side. But even
Mm-hmm.
then, I still get played sometimes, by people. People
Mm-hmm.
still try to get people still, crisscross me
Yeah.
like at the intersection, but I think I still try to figure it out. Like I still think in the back of my mind, I be knowing like, okay, that person's still just a little iffy. Like, watch out. But like, how hard is it hard for you, or is it just?
Like I said before, I think that like in this stage of my life, I'm grateful to say that I can trust like a good amount of people. Just because I think it comes with like maturity and like also discernment, but like also trusting yourself. Cause I think that the reason that I had so many people in the past that let me down was maybe because like I didn't have that initial trust in myself and like also expectations with relationships and
Yeah,
like people in the first place that like I was really naive and like almost like blind going into relationships and just like putting so much trust in people. Um but now I feel like it's more just like a trusting my gut, trusting my intuition, discernment. And like I get what you said too about just like thinking that oh maybe we are supposed to like put like trust people initially and then they have to prove to you that they're untrustworthy. But I don't know if I feel the same way anymore. Like I feel like I definitely did used to feel that way or to an extent, but now it's just kind of like I definitely go in with an open heart and an open mind, but the second there's any sort of red flag, like I'm up, like I'm all the way up. Like my heart is
just
always guarded a little bit,
just
but
one red flag. Like it could be the smallest red flag, but the Bible does say don't put your trust in mere people. Um,
mm,
Mere being like small, right? Like not better than like that's what it means. Actually, let's look at the definition for that. Let's break that down for the people, and then I'm gonna find a verse and let them know. Mere, mere, mere. That is solely or no more or better than what is specified. Right. So somebody who is thinking small, people who are small, they're thinking small, doing small things. Um, you telling somebody your vision and your goals, your dreams. That's why you can't tell everybody your plans because some people they just they so confined in this little box. My one of
mhm.
my biggest pet peeves is people putting me into a box. I've always said that just in my career, but also just as a person. Don't tell me what you think that I can and cannot do because you don't know what like I play the field in multiple games. So it's just like so I don't know. So something about that, like, don't we can't. I think that that's biblical. We honestly not supposed to be trusting too many people. And if I knew the verse
Yeah.
in scripture, I would say it. Um, but I believe it's somewhere in Isaiah. But I don't. I don't know. Like but it can also be hard off the bat, like you're saying, to like notice when someone is if someone is me or small thinking or just belittle. You know what I'm saying? It can be hard
Yeah.
sometimes, especially when you like are trying to give people grace at the same time or like, just treat people normal, get people, human interaction, just, being
Yeah.
nice to people. But yeah, like,
But
I
I
don't know,
think
like,
this kind of relates to like, because we had a conversation last night and we were talking about, the type of person, no shade, because this was definitely me in the past, but the type of person who's so quick to like bestie everyone right
oh
away.
yeah.
And like, I think it comes like, it's kind of like that where it's like, how is somebody your bestie after 2 seconds of like knowing them and you're putting all your trust into it and like all your energy into that relationship? I think it does come from a good place, but I think it can also be super problematic because, like I said, like you're really not guarding your heart, you're not being wise. I think now I go into relationships still with like an open mind and an open heart to like genuinely give the other person a chance, but also with the awareness that like I don't want to like show my cards all right away. Like obviously I'm going to be authentic to who I am because I can't help but be authentic to who I am, but like I'm not jumping into the conversation or the hangout expecting us to be besties by the end of it. Like, I'm going in with an open mind to truly get to know you and like discern you for who you are. But like after that initial hangout, I think that's when I'm like, okay, like I can kind of gauge like if I think like kind of like if we have similar interests, if like, you know, the same mindset is there, like that foundation could be there to maybe build a closer relationship. Or like if, yeah, we're cool, we can kick it, but like you're not in my inner circle for real.
No, for sure. That used to get on my nerves. Why are you calling me bestie and we just but to your point about it coming from a good place, I do think that. I think that people who do that, it comes from a good place. Like they're just generally just trying to like, you know, when you first meet somebody, it can be a little awkward sometimes, especially given like maybe the predicament or the setting that you're in. Um,
Yeah.
so I think people are just trying to like break that ice. Or like, oh, and like it also like lets you know that like, oh, they're cool, or like we're cool. Like it's like, you know, medium grounds. But it's also like, so I guess I don't take offense from now in this day and age from people who just do that to everybody, because I think they just trying to like just be trying to break the walls down and like let them know like, hey, like this is, you know, like this is cool, like I'm vibe, like I'm chilling. But it's like back then, I don't, even now, like it's just a little weird. People say it like bestie, I'm like, like hey,
Mm-hmm.
like we're friends, like you know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess that's just different people's difference in opinions. But like
Yeah.
I don't know. People used to do that, and people still do that, and I'm just like, hey, like they'd be like, hey, bestie, or the next day they see you, I'm like, okay, cool, like, hey, and like I think it's like, yeah, I'm still gonna show up who I am, but it's just like I think those are also the same people who also over expound or over like they tell you too much too soon, and sometimes it can just feel like, okay, dang. And then sometimes I'll be like,
Yeah.
dang, maybe I'm just not loose enough, or maybe I'm just like, okay, maybe I should share more. I think there's a
No. Well,
limit
see,
to like,
that's the thing.
right. I think there's a limit. Like, okay, like I don't know if I could trust you. Like, I think, you know what I'm saying?
But I think that like subconsciously, because I, like I said, I used to be the girl who like would hang out with you. And like, I don't know, I think genuinely thinking back, like it was coming from a place of just wanting to like give people my love and like wanting like seeking out community and relationship, but it's just not necessarily in like the smartest way or like the way to go about it, because like subconsciously like putting a bestie title on somebody is like claiming them. And like
No, for sure.
bestie kind of implies that it is someone you trust, it is someone you're close to, it is somebody that you can like open up to. So I think in my mind, like constantly being like bestie, bestie, bestie is like, oh, you can trust me, you can trust me, you can trust me. And because of that, I'm also opening up to you really fast. But then,
Hmm.
like you said, on the opposite end or the receiving end, if someone's doing that to you and you're not ready to like open up to them, then that's where it becomes this like maybe one-sided relationship, or maybe you get uncomfortable and then it's just like, and I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people do it though, which I've started to notice now that I like am more, I kind of keep to myself more. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I definitely go about like building relationships differently, but I kind of peep it more now. And I just find it really interesting, especially with like social media and stuff.
Oh my
I think
God.
people are so quick to like want to claim you
And
as
they
like a
think that they
friend, but
know
it's
you
like,
from
you
a
don't have to
5 second
be,
video.
yeah.
You post a couple stories of people. I feel so bad for the influencers and stuff. It's just like people, they think that we rocking and we cool like that, and it's just like, hold on now, like love you, but like over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like people, I see that a lot with a lot of like, you know, like the big time influence and stuff. It's like people are so indulged into their lives that like they're like, oh, that's my friend, like I'm gonna do what she do, I'm gonna do what he
Hmm.
do, I don't know. And it's like, that's cool, like that's what the influence is, I guess. But it's just like, okay. But also I found that scripture. It's Isaiah 2 chapter 22. Don't put your trust in mere humans. They are as frail as breath. What good are they? How can you trust what God has for you if you're talking to people, and people who don't know what's going on in your life don't even know what God's plan is, and they talking against it or denouncing it or saying the opposite of what he's saying? How can you trust what God has for you if you are surrounded by people who don't even know what's going on in your life, or who don't even know what the plan is? You don't know what the plan is, but you that's just also, I don't know, like that can also sway more into like trusting what's next for you, like what's next in the process, what's next in the future, what's next. So it's like, how can I trust that like I'm on the right path, or that I'm doing something good, doing something right, doing something okay, or that I'm moving forward in the way that God wants me to move forward so that I can get all the things that He has for me? How can I trust that um if I'm hanging around people who don't even like propel me to move forward, or don't even want to see me win like that, or don't even think that I can win, or only think that I can win to a certain degree as long as I'm still beneath or under them, or you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like how like
Yeah.
we got to shift it a little bit.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is I feel like you just said so much, because it's also then like making me think of just the fact that like people as people, like we want to be able to make sense of things, and like we're so quick to like box ourselves or box other people and like put labels on things, that like if your vision or your dream or your understanding of like what life is bigger than somebody else's, they are never going to be able to like see it, because they can only see from what how like they already are boxing themselves, like their vision is already limited,
Right.
so they're never going to have the capacity to actually understand where you're coming from. But then it's also just like, to take it a step further, then it's like, how do you have trust in people's advice, like the advice of like others, when they don't have that understanding or they don't have that vision, because there's just like a disconnect. But I think that's when it comes to like different levels of trust. Cause then it's like, it's not that I can't trust that person fully. Like I can trust them with maybe like less heavy things, but I'm definitely not going to
No, for
that
sure.
person seeking advice on like maybe a vision God has given me, or like a plan that I have for my future. Because if I'm already coming with the understanding that like this person and I are not seeing eye to eye on certain things, then it's like, I'm not going to trust that you're going to be able to give me good advice, or you're going to be able to understand where I'm coming for, or support me in this decision, because there's already that disconnect. But we can
And
still
it's
be friends.
right. And it's just like everybody has a different, like we're all viewing things from a different lexicon, from a different lens. We were just talking about the eye doctor. How we all got different prescriptions. You can't see what I see. It's just like, you know how you ride in a car, somebody's like, what does the cloud look like to you? Everybody's saying something totally different in the car. Because I
Hmm.
might sound crazy for that, but I just really do think God reveals different things to people. Maybe I just needed to see that dinosaur, or that's just my imagination. Like that's what I see, that's what my eyes tell me I see. Like that's where I'm drawing the picture. So it's like you can't tell somebody else what they see or when they see, because it may not even be that sometimes it's bigger than the other person, or that the other person's maybe thinking bigger than you. That's just what I see. Because I think, like you said, I
Right.
think personally we already have boxes over ourselves based on the things that we think that we can do, or even the things that we know that we can't do. Like I know that I am not I don't know. I'm not getting in the ring with a WrestleMania. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I have no power against that man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I know that
Yeah.
I can't do that. But if I trained and worked hard for it and prepared for it, and maybe if I set my mind to do that, I could most definitely get in that ring and whoop some tail if God said do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think, I don't know, like, it just goes to how you're talking about, like, just trusting what's in front of you, um, or even when it's hard to trust like what's going on, or like what's about to come, or when you don't know, because the fear of the unknown is real, but faith is the size of a mustard seed. So I think just as long as we like, that's what faith is too. Like we cannot see, like it's not the things that we can see, it's the things that we hope for. So if I'm hoping, you're hoping, there's nothing that anybody else can tell us, because it's like, what is the hope for? Like, it's like you don't know what I'm hoping for. You don't know what the dream is. You don't know what God placed on my heart. And I don't know what He's placed on yours. So I'm gonna allow you to operate fully in what that is. Um,
Right.
but I'm also going to allow you, I'm also going to support you and move you forward. Like, I'm not going to hold you back or tell you that just because you tell me that you see something that I don't see, I'm not going to be like, it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything,
Right.
help me understand it. Even if I can't come to understand it, I'm going to just be there for you, or be there for that person, or just be like, you know what, cool. Like, that's what they doing. Hopefully that's aligned. If they feel the need to do that, go do it. Like, I don't know. I feel like people kind of, yeah, like social media, how we were saying, like, it's just,
And I think it does still come back to like the trust that you have in yourself, but also that trust that you have in God, in
no,
the
for
sense
sure.
that like trusting that He has made you the way you are for a reason, like trusting that you're gifted and talented in the areas you are for a reason and that like those things have a purpose. But it's just like the Bible explains to us too that like the body all has different parts. Those parts
Mm-hmm.
work together, but we all have different parts. We all have different gifts. We all have different ministries. So it's like, as long as you're putting trust in God that He designed you and He has a plan and purpose for you specifically, and you're made the way you are for a reason, and you have that trust and confidence in yourself and your abilities, I feel like that will allow you to fully work and walk in like your purpose and your design, and allow you to like also partner with those people who are doing the same. And then it makes like one big beautiful picture, you know?
No, for sure. Like
But
the
I think
heart,
so many people.
no, go.
Oh, you go.
No, go. I was just gonna say, like, the heart is not telling the legs what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not
Hmm.
the knee is not telling the fingers how to move. You know what I'm saying? The bones all
Hmm.
come together, work together for the good. Like our brain, the brain. I don't want the people in anatomy and biology telling me. I don't know, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like the brain is really controlling it all, and it's like everybody's working. You know, we try to do the things, take care of our body. It's the same thing. So we try to take care of our thoughts, take care of what we're doing. But go ahead. What were you trying to say?
No, I just think that like another thing, not even necessarily all on social media, but just like life in general, is that we just get so caught up in comparison. And like I literally was journaling about this today because I feel like low key, I've been comparing subconsciously, just like the people around me. Because obviously, because we have access to so many people's lives, and like
Yeah.
everyone's doing their own thing because they're on their own journey and have their own purpose. You get so caught up in like consuming other people's lives and their realities and comparing it to yours
Yeah.
that you can feel purposeless. You can feel like you can start to doubt like your gifts and your talents and what you bring to the table and what your journey and your process is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But that is why it's so important to like constantly, check in with yourself, but also just like meditate on God's word and like who He has called you to be. And like build that confidence within yourself, because I truly believe that the more confident we are in our abilities, and just trusting that like we were made for a reason and like we live this life with a purpose, the more confident we are in that, and like the more we like question it and just like want to discover it for ourselves, the less time we have to be distracted by like what everyone else is up to and like what everyone else is doing. But like also the less effect it has on us, like it should only have a positive effect. Like other people thriving should only bring you joy and happiness. Like that should never bring you down or make you start to doubt and question yourself. And I know it's hard, but I just feel like that confidence that we have in God and in ourselves allows us to like appreciate when other people are thriving and like truly doing well, because it's all for a greater purpose, it's all for a greater good. Like no one's success is your demise, like it should just be
Right.
celebrated.
Right. You said so many things I was gonna say, but prime example. I don't. Do you know Monet? Right. Like the influencer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's going through like this change. I don't know if you saw, but like people are saying that like just because like she's like elevating, like she's really taking this influencer life and has really like she's like the most down to earth person, and life is changing for
Yeah.
her. Like she's really elevating, but people are like the naysayers are like, oh, her life is not relatable anymore because people only want to relate to people. Misery enjoys
Mm-hmm.
company, so they were like, oh, it's just not relatable anymore, and it seems like far fetched just because people were so comfortable in like the sense that she was in her apartment or whatever they were in, like she was living with her mom but still going out. She started getting brand deals, going on trips and stuff. Now she's moving into a house and like life is changing for her. Now she has a boyfriend. So people are like romanticizing this idea, but yet also like holding her back to her past just because they're not there or they're not relating. And it's just like, you don't have to relate to her. See it. Like, to me, I'm like, dang, that's a journey. Like, you literally saw how somebody started just where you are, not too far from where you are, like whatever, and now they're somewhere else just because they believe and just because she was also just wholeheartedly being herself. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it just it goes back to that. It's just like if you're doing something that's for you, like can nobody tell you that's different. And it's just also like we can't you can't. That's why social media is iffy too, because it's like people, they love and they love you today, hate you tomorrow. But it's just like people, it's just like we can't continue to hold people back just because we don't feel that I fit in with you no more. And it's just like, no, like I'm actually
Yeah.
inspired. And it's like if she can do it, anybody else can do it too. It's just like as long as you're being authentic to who you are, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're also at 30 minutes now, so
I know. Do you want to wrap it up?
yeah.
We can just do like, what's one thing greater in you than you think is in the world?
Um, I think my trust has actually been getting way better. I let my guard down a little bit, not too much, because I think there's a good way to have it, but I have learned to like, just trust people for who they are.
Okay. For right now, I'm gonna say gratitude because as hard as things get for me, and as much as I like do start to question and doubt sometimes, especially in this season, I do always fall back to gratitude, and I feel like gratitude has been what's been grounding me, so I'm grateful.
Cool,
But yeah,
yo. Hi guys. Thank you for coming to the greater in me. Okay.
bye.